So we will continue our talk about DBT. As you remember from last session, dialectical behavioral therapy is something going to teach you some skill, four main skills: distress tolerance, which how to manage stress; mindfulness, how to be present; emotion regulation, which is how to regulate your feeling. Like I'm talking about the negative feeling, like anger, guilt, fear, depressive symptoms, stuff like that. Interpersonal effectiveness is you're going to learn how to say no, how to set limit, how to set boundaries, how to maintain relationship for a long time. We finished the stress tolerance or the stress tolerance skills, which was mainly like distraction techniques and self-soothing techniques. These are the main skills that we learned. Today, we're going to focus on interpersonal effectiveness, which is mainly about relationships. We're going to learn today, for today's session and the coming sessions, few things. First is how to know what you want. Sometimes people, you ask them what do you want, you don't get from them an answer. So you need to learn what you really want and to know what you want, and then how you're going to ask for what you want. And then what if I want something and the other person wants something different? So how are you going to negotiate conflicting wants? And how to get more information about from the other side, and when to set boundaries and say no, and also how to act within a relationship according to your values. So these are the main things that you learn from interpersonal effectiveness. So we have 4 exercises today. Okay. Within the discussion, you will need to choose 2 exercises that you're going to do within the group. So we have 4. You're going to choose 2. I would suggest you do all the 4, but for sharing, to allow everyone to share, you're going to share only 2. Exercise 1 is you're going to learn how to balance between what I want and what they want. Okay. Within any relationship, there are 2 people, at least like 2 people. Sometimes we have the same wants. Sorry, I will stop the share and share it again because the mouse, I can't see the mouse. Oh, it is here. Okay. So sometimes we have the same wants, and that's fine. Okay. Sometimes we have different things, like different. I want something, I want left, and the other person want right. How are we going to do that? Okay. And again, the main skills will be to know what you want and how to say it, to learn the negotiation skills, how to give. In any relationship, you don't have to take all the time. You can give, and you try to balance from what I want and what the other person want. So this is the exercise. I want you to list, first you need to recall some relationships in the past, or even you can talk about a current relationship. So you're going to tell me what you want within a relationship and what was the outcome. Are you getting what you want, or you are not getting what you want? Okay, so you have a list. You can focus on one relationship, or you can maybe in this exercise you split. You put a line here and then you say, okay, I'm going to talk about my relationship with my boyfriend, and I'm going to talk about my relationship with my boss or my employer. Okay. And then you put here, what you want and what was the outcome. Did you get what you want, or you didn't get what you want? Again, you can talk about the present, or you can talk about the past. Okay. Within the same relationship, I want you to comment about what the other person want, like on the other side, what they want, and then you put here what they wanted within the relationship and what was the outcome. Did they get their needs fulfilled or not? This will help you to see, for some people, just the main goal in life is just to get what I want, and that's it. It doesn't matter what the other people want, and they think this is a way, like to be in competition with other and take as much as you can. They're gonna be successful in life, or they're gonna be, make more money, or they're gonna have a longer term relationship, or they're gonna have a committed relationship. But actually, you know, when you balance between what you want and what other people want, you're gonna gain more. So this exercise for some people will be easy, for others it will, you know, you maybe for some of you will feel like, oh, this is the first time I look at what I need and look at what other people need. So this is one of the exercises we do. Another exercise, we want to know about what I want and what I should. So some people will focus, I should be nice with others all the time. I should be kind with others all the time. I shouldn't offend anyone at all. I should be forgiving and accepting all the time. Yeah, these are very good stuff, you know. But sometimes when people deny their own needs and then just to focus on what I should do for others, they blow up at a certain point. They become desperate, they become helpless, and they blow up the relationship. So we need all the time balance between both. Okay, so this exercise will help you tell you, are you denying your needs or not? All these things, that examples that I give in this slide and the previous one, like these two, are very good things to do. Like it is good, you know, like you should be, for example, you should be caring and considerate all the time. Yeah, we know all this, you know, and it is a positive value. But if you deny your own needs because you are trying to be caring and considerate all the time, at certain point, you will have physical or psychological problems. So you need to balance for what I want and what I should, and how much, so let's say helping other. If anyone asks for me for help, I'm going to do it. And I try to do my best to help others. Yeah, but you can help one person or two or three, but you can't help thousands of people. You know, so the more you're trying to, in the direction of perfection, you're trying to work harder and harder, sometimes we forget ourselves. And we know the quote or the saying that say you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to have a full cup first. So this exercise, how I'm going to do the exercise, I want you to read this statement and check the ones that apply to you. And the goal for this exercise is the more items you checked, the more likely you are denying your own needs. You know, again, it is not black and white, but there is a chances, if you check a lot of these stuff, there is a chances you may be doing a balance already, but if you check lots of them, there is a higher chances that you may be denying your own needs. I'll go through these statements very quick. For example, you should try to give everything that asked of you in a relationship. Anyone, like within a relationship, if they ask you for anything, give it. Okay. When someone in pain, you should do anything required to help them. Yeah, it's good. Like these are positive, but again, we need, you know, moderation. You should be caring and considerate all the time. You shouldn't ask for something that if you know other person doesn't want to give it. You should never offend anyone. You should try not to disappoint other all the time. You shouldn't say no to people. It is impolite. You shouldn't express your feeling, like be quiet all the time. Be quiet. People like others who are quiet. So if you check lots of these stuff, this you need to ask yourself: am I fulfilling my own needs, or am I denying my own needs? So this is another exercise. Another exercise is to, you know, to ask for what you want. We need communication. You know, sometimes people will use negative behavior to communicate with others. Yeah, give me an example. It's easy. Some people will use aggressive behavior, and some people will use passive behavior. So these are not healthy ways to communicate. These are blocks to communicate, barriers for communication. These will not help. However, sometimes it looks from outside that it's going to help you to communicate, but the end result will be always negative. Okay, some people will have a passive communication style, and some people will have aggressive. What do you mean passive? Passive means like some people will tend to pull away all the time, be silent, be quiet, shut down, leave the relationship, don't ask for what you want. So this, we call this the passive attitude. There is the aggressive attitude, which, you push all the time, you ask for what you want all the time without considering what other people may ask for or may want. You are not sensitive. You insist on doing stuff, even you know that you're going to make the other person angry. You push people, stuff like that. So I want you to choose. Again, we have a long list here, and the next slide, we have another list. You're going to choose which things you think you are doing. Okay. There is a tendency in all of us that we feel, oh, you know what? I am the passive one. I don't ask for what I want. I don't push. And, that's why I'm like, what do they call it in Canada? Like a doormat for people to step in, something like that. No, I want you to see if there is a passive side of you. Okay, address it. If there is an aggressive side, I want you to address it too. Okay, so by the way, in this exercise, odd numbers, if you have most of what you checked is odd numbers, this means your predominant style is passive. If you check the even numbers, this means you have tendency to be aggressive. Give me examples. So I always try to be sensitive to what others need, even if my own needs get lost. Okay, this sounds like this is an odd number, and this is sounds like a passive attitude. Number 6 is, I know what I want and I insist on it, even it means having to get angry sometimes or all the time at people, or get mad at others to get what I want. So this one sounds like a little bit aggressive, and so on. Another one, I push people to do what is right, even if it is upsetting, but I push people to do what I think is right. Another one, I go along with something even if I don't like it. So this sounds like a more passive side. So you'll find, these are examples for things that are passive or aggressive. Another one, I will pull away from a relationship rather than saying anything. So some people tend to shut down, pull away, leave, because they don't want to talk, because talking will mean bring conflict, and then when bring conflict, it's going to bring feeling, and sometimes the feeling will be negative, and I can't tolerate it. I can't cope with it. I use drugs when I feel negative feeling. I have suicidal thoughts when I have negative feeling. I yell at my kids when I have negative feelings. So some people will, because they don't have the skills to cope with these feelings, so they avoid the conflict completely, and again, the overall result will not be positive. Okay, so this is the exercise number 3, is you're going to choose certain things that you think that you can relate to. Okay, you can, if you are in a relationship or you want to talk about a past relationship, you can tell me what was the predominant style of your partner. It doesn't have to be you. You can, if you want to focus on your partner, you can focus on your partner. But again, it's easy to see problems in people, passive or aggressive, but it's very hard to see problems in you. So I would, if you want to share both, like you want to tell us about you and also tell us about your ex or your current partner, it's fine. If you want to choose focusing on yourself. Let's do the other one. So exercise number 3 and 4 are almost the same, but this will be more classified into things. So can you tell me, you give me examples for aggressive attitude, aggressive communication. Can you tell me other types, like how people will use this aggressive behavior? So we have different ways, like 6 different ways for people when they use the aggressive attitude. what about the passive? The passive is easy, you know. The passive, you don't do anything. You just surrender, shut down, pull away. That's it. But the aggressive, you know, people will use different techniques. The problem, some of us will use these techniques or negative communication skills subconsciously. They are not aware about doing them. So I want you to give some time to this exercise and tell me which one you are using. We all use these things at certain times. Some people use it all the time. It become part of their personality. And some people use it only when, you know, in certain situations. Okay, so some people, to communicate in aggressive way, what they do discounting. Discounting means what? Like they focus on the negative behaviors that you are doing and they discount any positive. And I'll give you here example. Maybe this guy is talking to his wife, or this lady talking to her boyfriend. So she came back from work and she told him, "You have been watching TV all day." Maybe he's watched TV like an hour, but, you know, and he did other stuff. Maybe he was cooking, taking care of kids, or whatever. But then you just focus on what he was doing, exaggerate it, okay, magnify it, and then discount the positive. So we call this discounting. Okay. Another one is withdrawing or abandoning. You know, the fear of abandonment is very powerful. The fear of abandonment is very powerful. So he tells the person, direct or indirect, if you don't do what I want, I'm gonna leave. That's it. Okay. So you're using withdrawing as a threat, and you do what I want or I'm gonna leave. Some people will use threatening. You know, if you don't do what I want, I'm gonna hurt you in different ways. Okay, so hurt you emotionally, physically, verbally, financially, legally, whatever. So threatening, some people will use this way in communication. Blaming. You know, let's say me and my wife have a financial problem. If we have a financial problem, then I spend lots of money, she spends lots of money, and then some way to communicate with her, I'm gonna blame her as if she is the only one responsible for the problems that we have. So the blaming, you know, this reminds me of the Adam and the Eve story. You know, this story in the Bible when Adam, I think Eve give Adam the apple or the fruit or something. He's not supposed to eat it. And then God asked Adam, "Oh, why did you eat it?" "Oh, she is the one who did it, or she is the one who pushed me to do it, or she is the one who convinced me." So anyway, blaming is a way of aggressive communication. So you blame someone for something. So within a relationship, you know, financial issues is a common, then you blame the other person for all the financial debts that you have. Another way is belittling. Belittling means like you make the other person feel that he is wrong if he asks for his own needs, or something wrong about them, or he's stupid, foolish. It doesn't have to be, you know, there is a subtle ways to make other person to feel inferior to you and to others. And we call this belittling. This is aggressive way to do it, to communicate. Guilt tripping. I'm sure you know, you all heard about this expression. Guilt tripping mean you make them feel guilty, you know, and if you don't, this is a good example. If you don't trust me, that tells me something is very wrong with our relationship. So the other person will think, okay, if I don't trust her, this means there is something wrong. If I don't trust him, this means something wrong. Something wrong about the relationship, something wrong about me. I'm not a good partner, and stuff like that. Drailing. Drailing means switching attention. So you switch the attention from your feeling to my feeling. So I don't care what you want to do. Right now, I feel hurt. So this message is telling you what, forget about what is happening or what we talk about. I feel hurt. So we are switching the attention from what we really talking about, your want, and we focus on, I bring up something that's just, we switch the attention to my needs. Taking away, like you take away something, a source of pleasure, source of entertainment, money, quality time. So I'm not really in the mood for hiking. It is boring. So you have a conflict about something, and then after talking about something, and then he tells them, you know what, I don't want to go for hiking. So the other person, now you are using the taking away to push them to do what you want. It's crazy. I'm sure when I explain each one of them, it reminds you of something you did, or remind you of something someone else did. So, and this is the exercise. The exercise is number 4. You tell me what kind of situation that trigger your use of aggressive behavior or passive behavior. You tell me what situation in the past that trigger you to be passive or to be aggressive. And they tell me which strategies you use all the time. I'm sure some of them you are using. Maybe discounting, maybe withdrawing, maybe threatening, maybe blaming, maybe belittling, maybe guilt tripping, maybe drailing, maybe taking away. So you tell me which one you use, or again, you can talk about yourself or you talk about your partner. I prefer if you do two, both of them. And then tell me if you are doing the passive or aggressive style. Tell me what was the impact on this attitude on your relationship. And another thing, if it is ongoing, how you're gonna change it, or what do you really want to change, or how you're gonna change it. So again, I'm gonna go. Maybe I think this is the most important part in my session today, is to know the aggressive behavior, to know them and see them in yourself and see them in others as well. Again, discounting means like you on your partner, you don't see the positive side, you just focus on the negative and magnify it. Withdrawing means leaving the relationship or making threats about leaving, or because making them feel that you're gonna leave if they don't do what you want. Because the abandonment is a powerful tool to use to control others, or fear of abandonment. Threatening, if you don't know what I do, I'm gonna hurt you. Blaming, you blame the other side or the other person for whatever is happening. Belittling is making the other person feels inferior, wrong, foolish, stupid. Another one is guilt tripping. You make the other person feel guilty. Drailing, switching topics. Go aside, like switch topic, especially for your benefits. Taking away is taking away entertainment, money, intimacy, taking away entertainment like pleasure, like hiking, going on a vacation, stuff like that. So you tell us what the situation, what kind of situation trigger you to do this behavior, and tell us what strategies you are using most of the time and what is the impact on your relationship. We are done with the presentation. I'm gonna go through the exercise again. So exercise 1 was this table. Do you tell me what you want and what is the outcome, and what the other person want and what is the outcome? Don't just tell me, oh, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, and I didn't get any of them. What is the other person? Oh, the other person, he got everything. No, it's like to know, with analytical thinking and reasoning, try to identify really what is happening. Exercise 2 is you're gonna check to see if you are doing this all the time or not. Because if you check everything in this slide and this slide, this means there is higher chances that you're gonna deny your own needs. Number 3 is blocks to communication. So these are examples for people who are aggressive, and the example for people who are passive. So if you find yourself you choose the odd number all the time, this is mean your predominant style is passive. If you choose even numbers from both slides, this mean you have tendency to be aggressive more. Another is the same exercise is to identify if, okay, I'm aggressive, which techniques, which habit you use all the time: discounting, withdrawal, threatening, blaming, belittling, guilt tripping, draining, taking away. Which one? And what situation trigger you to use them? And what was the impact of these strategies on your relationship? I'll give you maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Think about them. Choose two that you want to share with us, and Brooklyn will run the discussion.